Drip, 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 drip. All right, everybody, welcome to the Big Drip Show. It's the BLE champs, and here we got the Kid AyeeZee, we got Bandana, and we got the videographer himself, Chris Jessick. So this podcast is about the hip hop life in China, everything about it, inside of China and outside of China. So we're gonna ask some questions, focusing on those areas. We're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna keep it real, 100. Here we go.
You know what I'm saying? Flexing when we put up on the scene. Outcast, so fresh, so clean. Big drip. When you see us, yeah, we doing big things. Iced out chain, we just said it from King. Big drip. Flexing when we pull up on the scene. Outcast, so fresh, so clean. Big drip.
So Bandana has been here from the beginning. He's one of the founders of BLE. He's been doing rap. He's from New York. But I don't want to tell the story, so I'm going to let him tell the story. So, Mr. Bandana, what brought you to China, and why did you choose China as the foundation for your hip hop?
To China is why a lot of expat people come to China in the first place. Like, people want to travel, and the easiest way to travel is to teach abroad. And so I felt like I could teach abroad and still travel the world, being in Shanghai. So that's how I ended up coming here originally. But I also make music and I also rap. So I've been doing that since I was a little kid. So I didn't start doing that when I came out here. Originally, I just started teaching, and then I ended up doing live shows, and then I started meeting other people, and I started meeting AyeeZee. I met Ricky. I knew Ricky for a while, but we didn't really start the BLE stuff until later on. And I started making music, and then MCing at shows, and then I started meeting a lot of different people. So then we all have one common interest. So that's how we ended up forming this team, and we go and perform shows different places. So that's how we started really growing out here, because we were like a group of friends with one common interest, and we felt like there's a lot of people in China that also share the same interest, and hip hop is growing here. So that's basically the roots. And then we also started meeting fashion designers and doing shows, doing parties, hosting events. So that's basically a brief summary of how we are here now. So, and what was the other question you asked?
Yeah, so you pretty much answered it. We just wanted to know, why did you choose China as the foundation to start hip hop? And
we're here already, and we all have the same interests. So I felt like, instead of there's a big hip hop community in China, and Chengdu is like the mecca of hip hop in China. So I felt like instead of them seeing what they see on TV and just copying and pasting it, what happens a lot usually, they can actually have that authenticity and dealing with people from the West, like America, Morocco, Caribbean, Nassau, and all that. So it's not just a copy and paste. They actually see us, and they can actually build a bond with us, and really can actually relate with us, and have that sense of authenticity in their music.
Dope. Yeah, man, it's a unique place where people are coming into their own with the hip hop. So as a foreigner here, you also get to ride that wave and influence them, let them influence you. That's dope. What about, we got DA-Demens in the building. He has some technical difficulties.
What's up?
The thing about BLE
is we here.
Focus on getting a diverse group of rappers from all around the world to come set a scene and make a splash and a big drip in China. So DA-Demens from Morocco. We're going to let him tell his quick story.
Yes, sir.
So, my brother, why did you choose China as a foundation? I know you started hip-hop in Morocco, but why did you choose here to accelerate your hip-hop career?
Yes, I was about to say that we didn't choose China actually as a foundation for hip-hop. We started way before. I started in Morocco since 2011, 2012. I was already making music. And when we came here, just like what Musa said, we found a community of friends that care about this culture and care about the music, and we have mutual interests. So we thought, why not? We'll just try to build from it something that we care about. So that's how we came together. And Musa was actually meeting a lot of friends. He met me. I met him through a friend, and then we just connected and we started making music. And We made a hit actually. Oh yeah, oh no, it's still
Man, I
slap.
remember that.
You know what I
I didn't
mean?
even like know you back then, really. I was
Yeah,
just like, who are these guys?
yeah.
I knew Musa, but I barely knew you. I was like, who is this guy shooting this music video in this pool party? What's going on here?
That was lit.
Yeah. So so that was a lit experience actually. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we just picked it from there, you know, like in China we found an environment actually here in Shanghai especially that is welcoming to hip hop and it's growing. So we thought like this is the right environment, so we just rode with it.
Dope. Yeah, man. This is the future, really. It's one of the last like untapped markets, hip hop economies or markets in the world that has
Yeah.
a lot of potential for growth. And you guys are right in the middle of it. So some exciting future. And we got the Kid AyeeZee from the Bahamas. You know, he's
Yes, sir.
multi-talented. He's on the sticks right now, but we want him to tell us his story on how he ended up in China and why he chooses China as a place to grow his hip hop career currently.
Well, honestly, I just came here to go for schooling at first because when people who come to China, like I don't think music was on anybody's mind when they first came to China.
Right.
So like it just gradually became a thing. I could say that.
Yeah.
But like it's an experience to like grow your fan base or whatever because it's a foreign country. It's not like a place you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
But you meet like a bunch of different, multiple different type of people to
Yeah.
just to vibe with and make all type of music with. Because I made songs with everybody inside this group right now.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I got We Lit with Med. I got Fashion and Slow Down with Musa.
Yeah. And
So
other artists
it just
too.
shows you that
Yeah.
shows you that you can come together with anybody in this country and do what you got to do.
Yeah, not just
Yeah.
foreign artists, local artists too. And the local
Yeah.
artists are also willing to work with foreign artists because they don't really hang out with foreign artists. They only like really socialize with Chinese people. So they want to work with foreign artists. It's like they were back there. It was easier to perform with maybe a bigger artist in China rather it is than you may be in the States or something like that, because like in the
Yeah.
States you need to know people, you need to have these connections. Here it's like, oh, they see you're a foreigner, they'll probably work with you much easier than maybe in the
But
Western
that's
countries.
Yeah,
the
I
thing
agree.
about over here too, though, because over here, like you could meet a famous person, don't even know they famous,
Hmm.
and you could vibe
Yeah.
with them better than anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, Shanghai is a unique place in the world because it's probably the most diverse in my experiences here. It's the most diverse nationalistic wise. There's so many nationalities here, probably more than any other city in Asia, in my opinion. So with that diversity of all these different cultures, all these different styles, and they all just kind of blend together. Like I didn't plan on doing BLE when I first came here. I mean, we all were teaching, right? So we were teaching, we were traveling, but then we all obviously share that common ground for hip hop. And I was trying to look for business opportunities, and because China is still growing,
Yeah.
and it's opening its doors to the world, it presented opportunities to start the business side of Best Life Entertainment as well. So that's how Musa and I got involved. I try to handle the business aspect. He did the music and entertainment. So yeah, it's a great place. It's built a foundation for us. Even our guy Chris Jessick over here can attest to that. He's here in China doing videography. He's killing it. He's helping us with all kinds of aspects of the visuals. So since you're in here in this meeting, we're going to give you some love too. Why did you choose China as the foundation for your video company, your editing company?
Thanks, man. No, I first started doing business out here in mainland China back in 2011, and my brother lives in Hong Kong, and he's been out in Hong Kong for about 8 years. So he and I are both musicians as well. I was doing some producing of hip hop when I was in Brooklyn before I moved out here in 2016. You can see I've got a music studio behind me, but I come from kind of like more of like a punk rock and metal background, and then DJing.
Yeah.
As far as just living in Shanghai, it's definitely like you were saying, it's got a lot of promise for creativity into the future. You know, there's a lot more room to be able to accomplish new creative things here, in as opposed to other cities, like maybe like New York, where it's already kind of there and it's already happened
Right.
in a big way.
Right.
You know, there's more room. And then also, I love just doing business across other cities like Chengdu, Chongqing, where there's a great hip hop scene and everything too. So yeah, man, it's always exciting.
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for that insight.
Back in the stang, I'm rocking these clothes just so you know I come correct. I walk through the door, show respect. Meet the 44 if you disrespect. I'm not too sure, but I'm way too blessed. On the takeoff tour, the girl say yes. That's your girl, I'm not impressed. More interested in signing checks. Fresh like me, that's the lifestyle. Roll VIP, that's the lifestyle. Don't need no ID, check your lifestyle. She down with the team, cause that's the lifestyle.
Drip. So how do you survive and thrive as a foreign artist? So basically, we're talking about how do we adjust to the culture to make sure that we can still succeed with what we're doing? And then what are the, I guess we can say, what are the challenges?
Well, a hard part here is because you don't really know the language as much as, you know, the locals, obviously, because we don't speak Chinese. So maybe what was hard is like maybe to actually learn, you know, Chinese fluently. But if I feel like if I take classes consistently and learn the language, then it'll probably be easier to gain some steam and go farther as an artist. So I feel like, and also not only that, but also maybe have connections. So like, if you know the right people and you're friends with the right people, or you're in the right group, then you can actually go pretty far. But if you
It's
don't
called
know
having
those,
that, the Guangxi
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, the
Guangxi means
Guangxi,
like
yeah.
got the
So
plugs and
basically,
connections.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I think as a foreign artist, you can go
Plug
far
talk.
if you know, if you
yeah.
know the right people, and and know the language. Also, that'll help.
Yeah, and you know, in Shanghai, I think it's hard learning the language here because we get complacent because most people
Mhm.
here know English. So
Yeah,
instead of trying to learn the language and struggle, they're just gonna be like, yo, I just speak English. So just, all right, okay, I'll just
Yeah,
speak
it's
English.
easier to get around than other
Yeah.
cities for sure.
Whereas, yeah, if we lived in, you know, any other city, basically, aside from here, you might most likely will need to learn the Chinese because
Yeah,
it's like survival
yeah.
at that point. So
Even
yeah, the
Beijing.
you can go ahead and
Learn my
tell us,
language.
right? How have you had to overcome, or what have you had to overcome to, you know, to pursue your craft here in hip hop? What are some challenges or a key challenge?
Well, the first
maybe.
thing,
Oh, okay, go.
yeah. All
Go to
right. The
Devin.
first thing that I had difficulty when I came here was actually the cultural shock because I come from a totally different part of the world, and like
Yeah.
the food, like the customs, like social values here, a lot of stuff like that. It was totally different. So I had to adjust. I had to be willing like to accept what is different, and I was like, I had to change my mind that what is different is okay. It's not actually, it's not bad just because it's different, you know? So I had to adapt to all that. But also, when I first came here, it was mainly for business. Then because I had stopped doing music at that time, and I didn't record anything for like a year and a half. So,
Yeah.
and after that, when I got back to Morocco, then when I started recording again, because I was like just writing, but I didn't know anybody here the first year. That was actually the most difficult part. That I have a lot of stuff that I'm writing, but I can't record. I still don't know people. I don't know how to get around. I don't speak the
Right.
language.
Yeah,
And
the
apart
studios
from
and
my
all
job or from the people I was dealing with, yeah, apart from my job or from the people I was dealing with, like I knew nobody. I would still go out like the bars, clubs, stuff like that, but
that.
I still don't know anyone. So it was kind of difficult for me to get into the scene and stuff like that. But after that, gradually I started like going out more, meeting more people, and then like we started like knowing more friends in this industry here in China and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, when I met BLE as well, and then like we just picked it from there.
Yeah, you know, it's wild because I think a lot of you guys and Los and some of our other artists we don't have here tonight can attest to the point that you're all individual artists, but there wasn't really a community here for you to
Yeah,
vibe and build and make music, you know.
yeah,
And fortunately, like we didn't even start BLE to be a music thing. It was house parties and it was club collaborations.
Right.
But then through Musa being out there and whatnot and just networking, you know, it turned into the more of a music-based community, especially as we got more involved with clubs. So it's crazy how we
like a rapper.
Yeah, like our community was a community.
Like a
yeah, just from the way you dress, they look at you and be like, "You look like a rapper."
And he was like, "I am." And like,
just pull out his phone, give me a WeChat, nigga.
It's like
I have a song called WeChat, by the way.
Yeah, it's like Best Life Entertainment became that community for foreign artists to develop some collaborations, not only with foreigners but with Chinese, while in Shanghai. So it's crazy how we turned this community into what it is in the biggest city in Asia or possibly the world. So
came a long way to dropping an album.
yeah, right. We still got the album release party coming once we get out of lockdown.
Yeah, we still got to do that.
When that happened.
But yeah, we'll get to that point soon. But AyeeZee, what's the biggest challenge for you? What's the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome when it comes to recording or making your music, trying to pursue that craft?
I think like the only thing I really could say was when I first started out, because like I had nowhere to record music.
Yeah.
You know what it is, you just at home writing all these songs, but got nothing to do with it, nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
Almost feels like right now.
But also like I'm not the most social person ever.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I'm in BLE because Musa stopped me. I was not gonna look this nigga away.
Yeah, you was a loner.
I was on my lonesome, taking my ass home.
That's that sound, right?
I don't know what Musa was doing. I don't know what he was doing, but this nigga was
you know what Musa was doing? He was stereotyping.
Still outside though.
He was stereotyping you. He's like, this nigga look like a rapper.
He was in front of the lawn. And I don't know what this nigga was doing. Like that bridge.
Was it long or Cyclo?
Yeah.
I was leaving Cyclo.
Oh.
He just happened to stop me. He's like, "You look like a rapper." I'm like,
So he's being like racist.
Was that right though? Was that right?
I mean, it wasn't wrong, but I was like, how this nigga know?
Yeah. But that
just like
finding that studio,
getting out there and just finding people.
I was recruiting.
Yeah, overcoming the social barriers, basically.
Musa was on a mission.
Yeah, Musa's been on. He's like recruiting.
Like picking your own cats out the
I'd
streets.
be at home doing stuff, whatever, paperwork, studying. Like I haven't stopped studying in like 3.5 years. But Musa would be out there in the streets meeting everybody.
Yeah, because I'll be MCing.
The street.
Because I'll be MCing.
Yeah, Musa, man, he the voice of the street. Voice of the streets, we call.
No, because I would MC. I'll be out because I'll be MCing.
Oh, right. And then he started MCing.
Yeah, not just being out.
Lockdown, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna say you was MCing, but we know what you was in them streets doing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get Chris in it. So, what's been the biggest obstacle for you to develop your company here?
I mean, starting my own company, it's like my 1-year anniversary of my own company becoming official in Shanghai. Before that, though, I was working for another company, but I decided to take it just off on my own and, have ownership and also to be able to pick and choose different clients to work with. So it was already a New York-based company since 2014, but it was always kind of like my side jam. And then this was just me putting it front and center. I think that the biggest challenge is just setting up a company, your own company in China as a foreigner, transferring your own work visa and your work permit onto your own company. Like that was huge.
You champion that because like we have ours, but it hasn't been our official like visa holder yet. But you did that, and that's hard. That's rare.
Yeah, it's quite stressful though.
Yeah, dealing with visa issues, we can say that. I mean, that has to do with everything, because if you don't have your visa right, then you're gonna not be able to do anything in China. You can't do your music.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't make whatever you're teaching or make your money. So yeah, getting that visa situation right.
Yeah,
but yeah, man,
that's the one good thing about having a work visa here, like teaching and stuff, because that's stable. You know that visa is stable. You don't got to worry about anything else.
Right.
If you like have another career, it's like hard. It's like maybe every 4 months you got to switch visas or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
They say, 401 visa in my country. Interesting.
I don't
Go
know.
teach.
It's just important. That's where the guanxi is important, and knowing the right people. My business manager is awesome, and she was the one who kind of made it all happen. But you need that insider.
Who's your business manager?
Sophia.
Right. Yeah. So I'm working with her right now. Again, I thought she just set your business up, but didn't like manage it. But she's
it's I call her my business manager because my accounting happens through her office, like all that stuff. Like it's a consistent, ongoing working basis. So I mean, she's not necessarily a member of my company, but she's like my guardian angel.
Yeah. So yeah, we can see here the visa stuff, the paperwork,
she's
all that.
She's your local angel.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what guanxi is, for those who are listening, guanxi basically means having the plugs, having the connects in the network, because for many Chinese businesses and individuals to become successful in China, they usually have a strong family and social network to help them elevate and get to the next level and actually get over certain hurdles and boundaries, whether it's government or whatever. Like having a guanxi or person on the inside can help you bypass a lot of stuff you normally not be able to bypass. So that's guanxi.
Look at my neck, it dripping like water, Versace my vest. This shit you can't order, can't copy my style, can't copy my fashion. Fuck with my crew when we ready for action. She love when the kid high fashion, diamonds all over, she like when they dancing. Turn on the camera, the flashes they blasting. Turn off the faucet, my drip fill up glasses. Lights all on me, she wanna fuck it, she want it. She won't give head for the fashion, she wanna ride for the action. Drip.
All right, so we've been out here. We always in the streets. We out found 158, the social epicenters of Shanghai. It's always cracking. It's always lively. It's always litty. And we just want to know, like, what's the best thing about the nightlife scene that draws you out and makes you want to just be in the moment? So we're going to start with the Demens. We're going to run it through you, and you hand it off to the next. So what is it about the nightlife scene that brings you alive?
The nightlife here in Shanghai, especially, it's wild.
Yeah.
Here in Shanghai, it's wild. Like, except from the connections that you can make and like the different people that you can meet, like every night, like you meet totally different people. Sometimes you meet the same people at some places, but like there are always like different people to meet and stuff like that. But that in itself actually is enriching. Like, for example, for somebody who just came here for, like the first, they're gonna be like a really different community, like to socialize with and not to just stay in their bubble. Like, for example, AyeeZee would, like what AyeeZee said. At first he was a loner, but then after that it's like he just started knowing everyone.
I can almost even say the same.
Nah. You gotta take that back. Nah, I don't know everybody. Everybody know me.
Well, if you put it that way.
I don't know.
Just somebody. Oh, I've seen him before. Yeah, I recognize that guy.
Yeah, like that. He looks like a rapper. That's what it was.
He looks like he raps.
He's black. He's wearing jewelry. He looks like a rapper.
Yeah, but that's all I can say about the nightlife in Shanghai. It's very rich, actually. Like everything, whatever it is you're looking for, you can find it in the nightlife of Shanghai. That's it. That's all I can say.
That's a good way to put it.
So Musa Bandana, we know you're the man of the streets. So tell us about your nightlife escapades.
I wouldn't say all that, but it's cool. Shanghai nightlife is pretty good. Like, I remember when I first came to Shanghai, I wasn't even expecting it to be like this. I thought it would be like, okay, you go there, I'm gonna go to work. People was gonna be
more low key,
kung fu on the streets.
Yeah,
Doing kung fu on the streets, tai chi. I mean, you can actually see that sometimes, but like the
yeah.
old people doing Tai Chi on the streets. But what stands out here in China,
You didn't
Shanghai is the
expect it
biggest
to be
city.
like Vegas style nightlife, or like what's
Yeah.
another city? You
So
know, like
maybe
Americans,
okay.
Western.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but actually, it could be like Vegas, but without the gambling and
Uh-huh.
without the strip clubs.
Right.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than
Well, yeah.
that, you can say it's similar
Right.
to say the
I
least.
agree. Well, I mean, we all know why. You know, the women out
Mhm.
here, they're beautiful. They come from all different places, just like we come from different places, the artists. So it's a beautiful melting pot of opportunities. You know, if you like Eastern European, you can meet Eastern European girls. You can meet African girls. You can meet,
For
you know,
sure.
obviously Asians, but mostly Chinese. Although there are a lot of Koreans and Japanese here. So
Yeah.
it's a great place to, you know, not only make music, but also make some beautiful connections with the local girls and the foreign girls here. So yeah, it's one of those cities.
Must be
What about
nice.
you? What about you, Chris? What do you love about the Shanghai nightlife?
I think it's just the diversity of options, you know, because I kind of have, I would say that my friends are kind of about half foreign, half local,
Yeah,
you know, and so I like that I can kind of like experience a lot of different things no matter what the options are. Well, ever since you guys, you know, opened, you know, and worked together at One Oak, that's always been an exciting place.
yeah,
Looking forward to it
man, tell me.
reopening. You know, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, that's
Been a
wild there
while.
because there's just you know there's just money there, and
a
you
lot of
can
money,
just see
man.
it. You
It's
know, it's
crazy.
crazy.
It
It's
is.
crazy.
Yeah,
So
and I guess I can throw my bone in on that one is you know, One Oak, I work with One Oak or work for One Oak through BLE, but the clubs out here in China, the great thing about the clubs is that you can be meeting, like someone mentioned earlier, I forgot. You can be meeting people that are famous or connected or have the Guangxi. I think AZ mentioned it, right? And you can be at the club and you're just drinking and dancing. You don't even like know who this person is. You're just vibing. You get their WeChat or their contact. Their WeChat's
Hmm.
the messaging platform here
Yeah.
in China.
Yeah.
And then you just chopping it up. You both are getting drunk. You're just vibing out, and you realize this person owns this and that, or does this X, Y, and Z. And then now you hit them up the next day. Yo, it was dope having a drink with you last night. You mentioned this. Yo, let's talk about this in time over whatever, over a coffee or something. And then yeah, you got that plug. You got that Guangxi. So you're building that network. So being out in the nightlife scene, especially One Oak, where a lot of people spend money, uh, it just shows how the diversity and the nightlife scene can also spawn other opportunities. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. There's a lot of networking that can happen in these big clubs.
What about
For sure.
AZ?
Yeah, yeah.
You
I'm
got
just
What's
something
the
to
adding
say
on to
kid
what
about
y'all
like?
was saying. Huh?
Yeah, you
I think you
agree?
had something to say about that. So
Y'all say most of the stuff. Like
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's
no
just
worries.
just a bunch of connections out here.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't find that in the States like how it is out here. Like you
Oh
just
hell
Nah,
no.
man.
like a famous person just come up to you and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Nah, they
Nah,
too greedy.
they
They don't give a fuck
they
about that.
bougie out there.
Yeah. Right.
They be like, I
But like
drive a
here,
Lambo.
Yeah,
Like,
as a
Everybody's
foreigner
acting
here,
that
we
bougie.
ain't
like
my
to
homie.
attract a lot of people. Yeah, as foreigners, like we are the rare objects or whatever. Like we're different, right? So a lot of the time things come towards us. It could be negative energy. Most of the time it's positive energy. So we kind of just attract attention by just being different. And when you attract attention, you know, sometimes you get other opportunities. So that's kind of how the nightlife thing goes here. And
That
there's
must
so many
you got
damn
a dog
clubs.
feel.
Yeah. Oh, you can do that too. I
What?
mean, it's not our fault. You know, they choosing. You know, you just try to throw your swag out,
No, no,
put
I'm
some drip
saying
on.
I just said like when you attract attention, you can bring other opportunities, and I was like, that's exactly how those Instagram models feel.
Hey,
Huh?
you gotta love the love.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah, man.
Who
You
should
got to
be
put
thinking his
yourself
career
out
now?
there into the world, and then let whatever energy that you attract just come to you. So
yeah.
yeah, man. Shanghai is a great nightlife place. But
Yeah,
currently
definitely.
we're under lockdown. We can't do anything. And hopefully when we come out of lockdown, One Oak pops off again, and then we get back to that life that we once knew. Yeah. And just get it litty.
Started from nothing, my mind in my pockets be talking, ayy. I'ma always be rapping, I always be ripping my city forever. Hannah Montana, but says on the low. French Montana, simple from my bros. Attracting money, you can never say no. The anthem is clear, checks over hoes, yeah. Ballin'. Rocking my brain till the morning. Practice every day, weekend holidays, all on the name of the glory. All of them say that I'm naughty. They don't know half of the story.
All right, so recently, since February 2022, Shanghai, as the world probably already knows because it's in all the damn news all the time, Shanghai's been under lockdown, COVID surge, but Chinese policy has you kind of stay home and take care of yourself and everything you got to do, whether it's music or business, from home. Right. So we want to know, like, how has the COVID lockdowns affected your music currently, and what do you plan to do as soon as lockdown's up? So let's start with the kid, and we'll go from there.
Pretty much for that whole thing, like, it would affect people like who don't have like a studio at home.
Yeah,
right.
Because people trying to save up and say, all right, I want to build my little home set. But like at this time, if you don't got no home studio, all you could do is probably just try to find beats and write to it.
Yeah,
that's the most you could do. That's the most you could do right now.
But if you're
just preparing for when everything finish. But if you already have like a mic and stuff like that, it's fine. You just can't do like no visual shit or nothing.
Yeah. So that's tough. We can't get to the studios if you don't have a studio, or you can't even collab on some songs. I know it's easier to sometimes write your music and create a song when you're with that artist, I guess. But I'm not a rapper. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, and then like it also like it stops you from like putting out content or whatever, because ain't nobody gonna be into watching the same content you putting up 10, 20 times.
Yeah. Well,
so
you gotta be able to create new content. Well, that's what this lockdown has kind of allowed people to do, is create different types of content that wouldn't require them to be somewhere in person. So, I mean, there's drawbacks. You can't record your songs, but then you can also try to be creative in another way. Yeah. What about you, DA-Demens? So what has been like the obstacle, I guess you can say, lockdown obstacle number one?
For me, like when it comes to the music side, the first obstacle that I have is just performing and making visuals. Performing for sure, like we can't perform anywhere since we can't go anywhere. And visuals, it's kind of, even though like you can right now, like you can make visuals with anything, literally by your phone. You can use your phone to make a music video. That's what I did actually. Like 2 weeks ago, I shot a music video for the song "Come Through." It's the 4th song on the Ski series, and we shot a video actually in our neighborhood here, right outside. And
I saw that.
It was cool. It was cool. My neighborhood friends here, they saw it. They started sharing it here in the neighborhood. I think the whole neighborhood right now knows what I'm doing. They were asking me like in the group chats to throw like a virtual concert for them, or like just to go outside or like do something. But I set a plan actually that I might do a music video with them here, but of course like respecting all the the COVID regulations and guidelines of safety and everything. But I might do it actually. I have other songs, but when it comes to recording, I learned my lesson actually from the last time that I told you that I couldn't go anywhere, especially my first year here that I didn't have my set at home, my studio set at home. I couldn't record, and that was kind of torturing for me because I need to make music. Like every day I need like to learn something. So right now, like I'm thankful actually that I got my studio set at home. And because of the pandemic, like this is the second time, it just gives me like a boost every time. It's like I'm just making music every day. And since the lockdown started, I've been releasing music every week, like a song a week. We're actually on the 7th week right now. This week, I just released another song yesterday. and we're gonna keep it going. It actually encouraged me to release every week. I had this plan for so long, and I didn't execute on it. But when this lockdown came, I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me. I'm not doing much around, so I'm just gonna lock in and just keep creating, make music every day.
Fully focused.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
For you, man, it spawns creativity and gets you get those, trying to figure out a different way to achieve your goals. A different,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're driving down the street and then there's a roadblock. It's like, all right, I still need to get there. So how can I get there now? I got to go off road. So it's kind of like you're going off road and creating a new path. That's dope.
For sure. You got to find a way.
Yes, sir. Musa Bandana.
Yeah, similar to what AyeeZee said. Like, if you don't have a home studio, you can't record anything, but the most you can do is write. So I've been writing and writing to beats and stuff like that. I actually have like 3 songs that's ready to record right now that I finished and like to new beats, but I'm just waiting for them to open up and let us out to go record. I wish I, like the Demens said, if I had a home studio and stuff like that set up, then I would be just making a lot of content with music wise. Also visually, I can't like make music videos and whatnot. But I mean, the most you could do will probably be maybe live stream like your songs or something like that. Live stream your songs and just perform on the live stream at home. That's like what you can do as far as that goes. But other than that, it's like a waiting game. When are you gonna let us out so we can get back to the regularly scheduled business? And also performing, obviously, because like a lot of the times we will perform and stuff like that too. But that won't happen for a while, I believe. Probably not. It's like next year.
Hopefully not.
Open out here, man.
Or like the end of the year.
You would think that these clubs are not going to open because they're not essential. They just want to keep the essentials open, the markets and the stores, and then and then schools and those places are opening up. At the end of June or something. I don't even know, but
I feel like they're gonna just open up at the next semester. Might as well.
I would say, probably next semester. And then business-wise, if your business relies on physical transactions, that's the hard thing. You can't even make money because you can't get people to come to shows or come to One Oak or events. You can't even do events. So it's like a lot of companies. And our company, not that we're suffering because we don't have overhead, right? Like we don't have the same overhead that a bar or restaurant would have because they got to pay rent and pay employees. But we're not really hosting events either. So that's the obstacle. It's like it kind of diminishes your presence if you don't have an online capability, right? So fortunately, we have that, and now we're doing our podcast. So that kind of helps overcome the lockdown situation. What about you, Chris? I know you usually travel and shoot video everywhere. So
that's been the hardest part, man. It's just like not being able to travel to the other cities where I've got clients and business. Because I'm doing business across a lot of cities, and it's just kind of been holding things up. But luckily, I'm still able to keep some of those things moving. But just in terms of like creative output, it's like I miss being able to just get out and like make things, like make videos. We were supposed to start doing the first podcast here in the studio.
Yeah, in the studio.
That was like right when it locked down.
Yeah.
It was just like I think it was all going to be you guys coming over to the studio.
Yeah, man. Maybe we'll do that.
We'll get back on track. But I mean, I've been taking advantage of other things. Like I've been like, I've got a piano here. I've been kind of brushing myself back up on piano, like doing some stuff musically that maybe I wasn't doing before because, it's here and why not? Why not practice,
Right. Yeah, man, we're all just hoping for Godspeed with this lockdown and people recover, economy recovers, society recovers. People are not paranoid to meet each other anymore.
I actually think people will be willing to go out after being inside this long. Like that, it could be like that kind of effect. People just want to go out and go crazy or something like that.
That's because like that girl that asked Ricky to book her a table at One Oak.
I have a girl that asked me to book her a table at One Oak at the end of this month.
Nice. Okay.
Damn, is it open?
Well, I don't know. She was just saying in case it does open that
see, they ready.
Book ready. I'm saying like I'm leaving China, you know, at least for a year. Like I would love to come back after a year when things are settled and I can get a visa through either BLE or this other company, this venture I'm starting. And then I can come back as a businessman and not as a teacher. And then when I come back, then we can, you know, do a lot more and get things popping. But while I'm gone, I'm still going to work for One Oak through booking and helping with their marketing and whatnot, and maybe having some promotions. But yeah, I would love to get back in the club, man. That place is great. But I can't say that I miss it too much because at least I got more sleep. You know, you guys know I was working at crazy ass, like sleeping 4 hours or something, and then going to work.
Yeah, it
Anyways,
drains your energy.
Yeah, man. The lockdown's tough. We know everybody out there in the world is somewhat living it up in the West, or depending on where you're at. We out here in lockdown, Shanghai 2022. We're surviving. We're working hard. We can't wait to get out and get shit popping again. So that's the Big Drip Show podcast episode 1. We happy that you all came to join us. These are the artists. Stay tuned for more. We got hella artists. We got about 30 to 50. We got dancers. We got rappers. We got MCs and DJs. We're going to be bringing them on the show on a routine basis, giving you a taste of what they bring to China and their music and hip hop careers. So for now, this is it. Thanks for joining. We lit.
Drip.